Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are creating the single page website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now in the previous video, we created this About Us section. Now in this video, we will create this latest post section. So let's get started. Alright, so here I'm in the source code, and before getting started with the blog section, let's go ahead and fix a CSS issue. So here we can see that this text is not exactly in the center. So that's because we have this nav bar at the top. So we need to add some padding top to this content. So if you right click over here and go to inspect, here we can see we have this content. So it is inside header swiper slide content. So in this we need to add some padding top. So let's take a look at the height of this nav bar. So if you right click over here and go to inspect, and if you take a look at the nav element, we can see that it has a height of 73. So let's go ahead and add a padding top of 73 to this content. So let's go back to our CSS and let's go to the CSS of the header slider. So here we have the content. So I'll just type padding top of 73 pixels, and let's see how it looks. And now we can see it looks like it is exactly in the center. So it is working all right. So now let's scroll down and let's start designing the blog section. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create the HTML. So here, this is the end of the about section. So I'll just create a comment over here and let's type end of about section. Now for the blog section, we need to have this inside a max width. So we need to add it inside the container division. So let's create a division with the class of container. And in that, let's create a section and let's give it an ID of blog. And in this section, for all the content, let's create a division with the class of content. And in this content, we will have a heading. So let's create an H2. And here we need to type our latest posts. I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it over here. And then we need to have a subheading. So if you scroll up, here we can see that for our services section, we have the subheading. So we have a paragraph with the class of subheading, and we have already added the styles for this. So let's create a paragraph over here and let's give it a class of subheading. And let's go ahead and copy this text and let's paste it over here. And now we need to create these three different blog post cards. So let's create a division with the class of cards container. Now in this, for each of the cards, I'll just create a division with the class of card. And in the card, we need to have the image. So let's create an img tag. And in the source, I'll just type images / and blog1.jpg. And then for the heading, let's type S3. And let's copy this heading. And let's paste it over here. And then we need to have the excerpt. So let's create a paragraph. And I'll just copy this text. And let's paste it over here. And then we need to have this read more button. So I'll just create an anchor tag for that. And here we can add the link of the blog post. And let's go ahead and type read more. Now we need to have 3 of these blog posts displayed over here. So I'll just copy this card and paste it 2 more times. And later we will go ahead and add all this content to the JavaScript and we'll just dynamically display them over here. So now let's go back to our design and let's see how it looks. So here we have the heading and the subheading, and we have all these blog posts displayed over here. Now let's go ahead and style this. So let's go to the style.css file and let's scroll down. And let's go ahead and create a comment and let's give it a comment of blog section. And let's type cards container. And we need to have 3 elements in a row. So let's type display of grid template columns. And let's type 1fr, 1fr, 1fr. So we'll have 3 columns. And then let's add a gap of 16 pixels between the elements. And let's also set the margin to 32 pixels top and bottom, and 0 pixels left and right. And now let's go ahead and set the width and the height of the image. So let's type cards container img, and let's set the width to 100%, and let's set the height to 200 pixels, and let's type object fit to cover for keeping the image from stretching. So now we can see that we have these 3 blog posts in a row and everything is looking all right. We just need to style this read more button. So let's go ahead and type cards container A, and let's set the color of the text to white, and let's set the background color to dark gray. And let's set a padding of 4 pixels top and bottom and 16 pixels left and right. And let's also remove the underlines. So let's type text decoration and let's set it to none. And that's it with the blog post section. Right now, let's go ahead and add all the content to our JavaScript file. And let's go ahead and create a const and let's name it blog data. And let's create an array, and in that we'll have objects. So in the object we need to have the image. So let's type thumbnail, and here we need to add the image source. So I'll just type images / and we have an image called blog1.jpg. And then we need to have the title. So let's type title, and let's go ahead and copy this title. This is the first title. And then we need to have the excerpt. So let's type excerpt, and let's copy this and let's paste it over here. And then lastly, we need to have the link of the blog post. So let's go ahead and type link, and I'll just type hash for now. You can add the links of your posts over here. Now in this way, you need to create all the 3 blog posts over here. So I'll just quickly go ahead and copy and paste the content that I have. Right, so here I have added all the content of the blog post. So we have these 3 different objects. Now we need to do the same thing that we did for the services container division. So first of all, let's go ahead and target the container division, which is cards container. So let's go ahead and type const cards container equals document.querySelector. And here let's type hash blog cards container. Right now, let's go ahead and create a function for displaying the blog. So I'll just type displaying blog posts. And let's create a function called display blog posts. Now in this, we need to loop through all this data. So we have this blog data. So let's type blog data dot for each. Now for each of the blog posts, I'll just call it b. And let's create an arrow function over here. Now here, first of all, we need to create the HTML. So let's type const HTML equals, and let's add backticks, and let's go back to the HTML file, and let's copy the HTML of the card. So I'll just copy it from here. So everything inside the card division, and let's paste it over here. And now we need to go ahead and replace all this data. So for the source, we need to add this thumbnail. So let's type $ curly braces, and let's type b dot thumbnail. And then for the heading, let's type $ curly braces b dot title. And then for the excerpt, let's type $ curly braces b dot excerpt. And then we have the link. So here, instead of hash, let's type $ curly braces b dot link. Right now we need to create this division with the class of card. So let's type const card equals document.createElement div, and let's type card.classList.add, and let's add a class of card. And then we need to add this HTML to the card. So let's type card.innerHTML equals HTML. And lastly, we need to add this card to the cards container, which we referenced over here. So let's type cards container dot append child, and let's add the card over here. And now we can go ahead and delete all these cards. And let's go ahead and call this function called display blog posts. So let's type display blog posts, and let's go back to our design. And the blog posts are not being displayed. So let's see what's the problem. I'll just right click over here and go to inspect, and let's go to console. And here we can see we have this error. It says that uncaught DOM exception, and it is showing the error over here in this selector. So here we have this problem. If you go over here, we can see that we have added this dot and this hash. Now since this is an ID, we need to add the hash. So I'll just remove the dot. So now let's go back, and now we can see all these blog posts are displayed over here, and everything is looking all right. So with that, we have completed designing the blog post section. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.